Hey guys, what's up? It is 10 a.m. and we're going to get started. It is Funky Fun Friday. Yes, hello. Thank you for chiming in and tuning in on my very first webinar on self-love and acceptance. I'm very excited to have everyone here, and also for those of you that are unable to be here for tuning in at a later time so you can begin the self-love and healing process. So, with that, we're gonna go ahead and get started. This will be about a 20-minute webinar, so we'll go from there. All right. So, how many of you has ever been in love? Yes, I think we've all been there at some point in our lives or are currently there. Thank you. And who has spent so much time loving yourself or loving others that you forget about yourself? You forget to take care of yourself. I know I've been there for sure. And who has a difficult time currently and now remembering to put yourself first, whether it's the relationship and you're focused on the relationship, or the kids are running around, or you're taking care of a loved one or a sick one? Who forgets to take that half hour to focus on you? I think we can all agree that that's kind of a difficult point sometimes. So with that, lack of self-love can occur in many different areas in life. We become self-critical of ourselves. We can ignore the positive qualities that we each possess within ourselves. You get caught up in the everyday grind and you're just like, I'm not good at this, or I'm not good at that, or I wish I could do that. And very just self-critical instead of honoring what it is you do every single day that many people are incapable of or doing, no matter what it is. Comparing yourself to others. Oh, I wish I had what Shannon had, or I wish I had what Johnny had. Things of that nature. Again, the negative self-talk of I'm not good enough, or I'm so stupid, or I'm dumb, or why did he get that raise and I didn't get that raise? What is it about me that's not qualified enough? Self-blame. So blaming yourself for something that you have absolutely no control over, such as a financial situation or a family situation or some form of incident that may have happened in your life. We really take that on and we take that personal. And the inability to accept compliments. Receiving is so important. How good do you feel when you give to other people? That feels a freaking amazing, isn't it? You get that warm, fuzzy, loving feeling, and you're just like, oh my God. And it just feels amazing to have the ability to give to somebody. But on the flip side, as good as it is to give, you also must be willing to receive, because it goes hand in hand. In order to fully give completely, if you're not receiving what somebody else is giving you, whether it be a compliment or a tip or something, you're cutting them off from that amazing feeling you feel when you give to somebody else. So learning how to fully receive compliments is super awesome. So today, guys, we're gonna go through some self-love techniques and really opening the doors to start that self-healing process for yourself. First, I hope it's okay if I share a little bit about myself with you. Again, you are worthy of all you desire. However, a year ago, that wasn't the case with me. A year ago and forward. In 2016, I wound up in inpatient, and I had to make a commitment to really doing some self-healing. With that, last year I had been in some therapy, and one of the techniques that the therapist was using was for me to say, I love and accept myself right now. But before I could even get to that point, I had an extreme meltdown every time I even uttered the word I, because the love and accept myself portion could not flow. So that all started, and the lack of self-love within myself started from a very young age. I was sexually molested by a babysitter's husband at the age of 5. At the age of 7, I tried to hang myself from my bunk bed with a jump rope. Clearly, I didn't succeed, but it was my first attempt. At the age of 11, I was molested again, but this time within somebody from the church. And when I approached and spoke on the incident, my voice was shut down and nothing happened. I was acting out for attention. And I know a lot of others have been in a very similar situation where they've tried to honor their voice at a young age, and because they were shut down, it just shut them down as a person. With that, I was raped twice, once by a boyfriend and once in service by a boyfriend, to which I did speak on the incident, but because of the preconceived notion of what happened when I was younger, I did wait. And when I reported it, I had already showered, I had already washed my clothes, I had already been through this situation. So again, I found myself being buried and I started self-harm. I wound up in inpatient for suicidal ideations. That was my first day in inpatient. And with that, I was discharged, honorably discharged from the service, personality disorder, not sexual assault or anything, but personality disorder. Shortly after, I had my daughter and then my son. I got married at a very young age and divorced at a very young age. We were together for 13 years. It was not working out for either of us, and there was a circumstance that really tore the family apart, but because we've moved on from that, I'm not going to touch on that. But my children and I wound up homeless for a few months due to that situation, and I had to really climb myself out. That was in 2016. In October of 2016, everything came crashing down on me, and I had no coping skills whatsoever because I had been on survival mode for so long. And I wound up in inpatient for the second time for suicidal ideations and for self-harm. This is when I really started to look at myself and say, who am I being and how am I showing up in my life, in my kids' life, and also taking that time to heal and focusing on heal. So since 2016 until present, and as many of you know, I'm still going through PTSD treatment, but I'm focused on the things that I've already gotten through. And now I can proudly say I love and accept myself right now. So thank you. I hope you can understand. I have a little bit to be upset and angry about, and a little bit that, you know, where the self-love connect just wasn't there. With that, it is so essential to love yourself. First and foremost, getting rid of toxic energies and entities. And I know some of you don't understand what those words are. So getting rid of the drama in your life, getting rid of that negative self-talk in your head where the I can't, or talking behind someone's back, or speaking things that are not beneficial to your current life. So starting to recognize those areas is very essential to start that self-love and healing, because the more love that you put out there, the more that's going to come back to you, and the better you're going to feel, because it feels kind of icky inside when you're just kind of talking negative all the time. And one of the things that I like to do when I start to feel I call it my monkey brain, talking negative self-talk, is I'll hit my wrist and I'll go cancel, clear, delete, and I'll wipe that negative energy right out of my system, and I'll replace it with 3 positive affirmations. Affirmations we'll go into a little later, but it's basically positive self-talk. So also saying no to what doesn't serve you and saying yes to what does serve you. Next week's webinar is going to be on the power of no and the power of yes within your own self. So we're going to do our first exercise now, and I'm so excited about this, but you're going to need 2 sheets of paper, 2 sheets of blank paper, a pen, a pencil, a marker, a crayon, whatever you got next to you. Go ahead and grab it. We're going to do 2 exercises. But first, we're going to start with writing everything out that bothers you, that you feel that you're not worthy of, that you feel like you just kind of need to let go of, something that you've been holding on to about yourself, or the energies around you, or the situations around you. And we're gonna take 1 minute to do that. So I'm gonna give you a few seconds to grab some paper and a pen, pencil, whatever you want, colored pencil, doesn't matter. But you're gonna go ahead and grab that. And I'm gonna give you 1 minute beginning now. Everything you got, guys, everything that you've been holding on to inside, your anger, your pain, whether it's from your childhood, whether it's from your adulthood, whether it happened yesterday, and you're like, wow, I really need to let go of this. Go ahead and write it down. You've got about 20 seconds left. All right, wrap it up. We got about 10 seconds left, 10 seconds left. Wrap it up, wrap it up. 5. Good job, you guys are doing fantastic. All right, good job. Give yourselves a round of applause. Now you're gonna take that piece of paper that you wrote all those negative beliefs on, and you're just gonna crumple it up. You're gonna throw that away because that is not who you are. That's not who you want to be anymore, and you're ready for a transition in your life. So by throwing it away and writing it all out symbolizes a fresh beginning and a fresh start. With that, now we're going to start to do what's called reprogramming the mind. According to verywellmind.com, negative self-talk limits your thinking. I know a lot of you have heard many, many times again that if you think you can't, you won't. And the fact of the matter is what you speak and believe is what you become. I mean, there has to be action behind it. However, if you say that you cannot accomplish or achieve something, you will never do that thing. But if you start to rewire what you're saying and say, I can, I'm just not there yet, but I can, then we can start the positive self-talk and accomplish those goals. Also, negative self-talk, believing that you're great isn't good enough and that you have to reach this unexpected actualization of perfectionism. And newsflash, there's no such thing as perfection. I struggle with this greatly, even to this day. I had to have a talk with a friend just yesterday, I think it was, about being a perfectionist and having to have everything perfect and done perfectly, and reminding myself it's okay not to be perfect as long as you're authentic and showing up with integrity. That's all that matters. So good is good enough as long as you're giving your best. Negative self-talk can also lead to depression. It can also keep you and hold you in a depression. And it gets very deep and very dark very quickly if you're not conscious of how you're speaking to yourself and what you're surrounding yourself with. Also, in a relationship, it can make you feel needy or insecure, where you're not having that amazing just connection with your partner. It's more of, where are you going? What are you doing? How are you doing this? Why are you doing this? And it's just this constant pull. And as a partner, you want to be there and grow for another. You want to be a support system. You want to be empowering for another, help each other with your goals, your dreams, your desires. And there should not be any issues of, where are you going? What are you doing? Da, da, da. You should feel so solid and secure that your partner loves you, that you're just growing together and there's no other background noise. So the positive on the flip, positive self-talk, according to Mayo Clinic, and you know it's good because it's Mayo Clinic, increases your lifespan because you're happier and you're just genuine and authentic and in the moment. It actually lowers the rates of depression because it starts to shift what's inside of you from the darkness to the lightness, and that's as simple as I can explain it. Lowers levels of distress. Apparently it resists for common cold, which is great. It is great because I haven't been sick in a while, knock on wood. And better coping skills psychologically and physically, and just better health and feeling all around. So with that, the power is within each and every one of us to feel how we want to feel. Now, there are extenuating circumstances where there is a mental illness, or there is a physical illness, or there's this or there's that, and things come up. There are things that come up, but the thing is life is about how you act and react to situations. Are you going to let that coworker affect you all day, every day? Are you going to let that boss keep just nagging at you? Are you going to let your partner just keep honing in on something, even though you do a million amazing things? It's when we start to change how we're being, then everything else starts to shift, and it's amazing. So with that, you're going to grab your other piece of paper, and you're going to write out everything that you're good at, great at, and proud of about you. So I'm going to give you 1 minute to do that, and that will begin now. I know this can be a hard task, guys, so everything that you're great at, whether you wake up and make your kids breakfast in the morning, whether you make your partner lunch or dinner, or you make the entire family dinner, whether you go to work and you keep grinding and you're trying to do something else, whether you work out every day, or you eat clean, or you made a choice not to eat a candy bar and you ate a protein bar, those are all great things about you. Nothing's off limits here. Keep going. Okay, about 10 seconds left, 10 seconds left. Almost there. You guys are doing fantastic, so proud of you. All right, wrap it up. Good job. Again, I want you to applaud yourself and give yourself an awesome pat on the back, because you guys are fantastic. You showed up, you're showing up, whether you're live or whether you're gonna watch it recorded, you still showed up because you want a transformation within yourself. The important thing is to celebrate yourself for all the small and big victories. So thank you for showing up authentic. Now you're going to take this awesome paper that you wrote all your positive qualities on, and you're going to tape it either on the fridge, you're going to put it on your bedside, you're going to put it on your mirror in the morning, and you're going to read it daily. And you're going to start each statement with I am. So I am great. I am great at cooking. I am great at being a partner. I am great at being a mom. I'm great at my job. I'm great at my business. You get the drift here. Then every day, or once a week, or once a month, you're going to add to your list as often as you possibly can. You're just going to keep adding to it. Because what happens then is, even if you're in a dark, deep place right now, speaking those words every day of I am, there's something so powerful about saying I am and following it with something amazing that you start subconsciously retraining your brain and retraining your energetic platforms. So by speaking it, you slowly start to come up and come out. So with that, I have a course webinar that will be coming out in December about the power of mindfulness, and it's a 6-week course. And we will go through how aware of you are you? I know it seems like an easy question, but when you really step back and look at your days and how you're showing up for others, you really genuinely get this feeling of, and the thoughts of, wow, am I really that person? When I stepped out of myself to look at how I was being for others, despite always constantly helping others, there was the other aspect of those who were closer to me. And I was like, I am not being an awesome friend, or I'm not being the awesome mom that I want to be. I'm a good mom, but I'm not the awesome mom that I want to be, because I was stopping myself from that, from how I was being. I'd get angry and I'd blow up, or the dishes wouldn't be done and the chores wouldn't be done and I'd blow up. And now I don't do that. I know my kids work hard. I know they get A's and B's. I know that they put a lot of time and effort into who they are and their growth and their future. So if they don't get it done, I ask them what's going on. And then if I have the time, then I'll do it. Not a big deal. And it saves all of the hoopla and ruckus in the house. And it's just so peaceful. It's so much easier. So yeah, the Power of Mindfulness course is 6 weeks, and each subsection will be one topic a week for 45 minutes. Understanding where you're at and releasing stuck points, understanding where you want to be, finding your purpose, the road to your reality. That is a rough one, and we're gonna get through it, because the road to reality, that self-actualization is very difficult. It's a very difficult pill to swallow when you're realizing, oh crap, I'm not showing up how I want to in others, and it can be very emotional. The power of yes and the power of no, and again, we will begin that concept next Friday, and owning your own voice, because all of us have been through something in life, I don't care who you are, where there's a certain aspect of your life where you're just kind of shut off and blocked up. So we're going to work on that in the mindfulness course. Again, the mindfulness course is 6 weeks. All of the subsections are each week, 45 minutes a week. It is $6.95 for the entire course, and we will begin that December 4th. So this year, December 4th, and we'll roll it right into 2020, and it's going to be fantastic and powerful and amazing, and you're going to come out super awesome on the other side. More awesomer than you are now. Yes, that is my official word, awesomer. Next Friday, again, November 8th, 2019, it is going to be another 20-minute free seminar, and we will dive into the power of yes and the power of no, owning and honoring your voice. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you guys for tuning in. Again, whether you're live or whether you're watching the recorded version, thank you for being authentic and having integrity and taking the first step to your own self-love process. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have an amazing weekend. Mwah.